We are joined now by the head women's basketball coach at Creighton, Jim Flanery. Coach, how are we doing this morning?
Doing really well, Ravi. Not as well as Damon's doing with the Dodgers upfield.
Oh
I know he
no!
got a little nervous in the ninth. I know he got a little nervous in the ninth inning, though.
See, all the guys I didn't think would hammer me, it's the consummate nice guy, Coach. I was so gracious. Like the last time I saw you, I didn't even ask you for the shirt off your back, knowing good and well I did really want it. I thought we had a thing. Are you who do you root for in Major League Baseball, Coach?
Cubs, right?
You're
Damon, I'm a Cubs.
Yeah.
I'm a
So
Cubs
that's why
fan.
you and Mac are kindred spirits, right? It's you
know.
Cub
Well,
guys.
and then the funny thing is Rob Anderson and Glenn Sisk.
Also a
opposite,
huge Cubs
right?
fan.
Yeah. Oh, I know Glenn. I see him every Saturday.
Yeah, Rob's a Brewers fan and Glenn's a Cubs fan. So that's been Glenn's had his door shut a lot.
So, Coach, I've said for years, just getting a chance, whether because Glenn does a lot of spotting, he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And he's constantly working. And I always tell people, I'm like, this guy is like hilarious, and people look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like his dry sense of humor is really, really funny. So a couple of weeks ago, we're at the stadium, and I was like, hey, are people giving you a hard time because I think you're so funny? And he deadpan, straight face, Coach Flan, he looked at me and he goes, I don't get the whole funny thing either. I don't know why you say it. And it was like putting a pin in my balloon. I was like, Glenn, no. But then I was like, well, even that was kind of funny. He goes, okay, man, whatever. Like you guys get it. But he was cool. He let me know that we were gonna have the opportunity to get you guys on, and I'm always excited to talk to you. And shoot, man, it's right around the corner. Are you ready to go?
Yeah. I mean, it seems so early. We started practice September 23rd, which is the earliest I can ever remember. But I always say players would rather be in the gym than on the track or outside doing conditioning. So even though it's early, they, like I said, they didn't sign up to go to run on the track team. So they'd rather be doing court work than out running sprints on a track or on the soccer field. So it's been good. Yeah, it's been good.
They signed up to play for Coach Flan, not Coach Gannon, right? So they,
Right.
you and Coach Gannon are two of my favorites over at the university. So like I've talked to you guys a bunch from doing Creighton shows in the past or whatever. So I'm a big fan of both of you. But I'm curious, as you come into this season, this has to be, at least from the outside, it feels very different, I think, for us as fans and media looking at like, oh, it's the first time in a while you're dealing with like a brand new roster and a bunch of new faces. How different is it for you in the way you're preparing for the season?
Yeah, it's been different. We and we've had some injuries too. I think we're going to be pretty healthy by actually the middle of the month here, within the next week or 10 days. But yeah, it's different when you don't have Morgan Molly and Lauren Jensen and just the level of experience we had was crazy. But in terms of, and you guys know this, when you have younger players, you see the improvement more quickly. I mean, they're you can see a week to week improvement. Like we have a Serbian big that we signed late, Hurrdat, and she wasn't here in the summer because she was playing for the under 18 Serbian team or under 19. And, God, she's just in the last 10 days, I said, she's made a noticeable improvement. Now she had a ways to go, but just the improvement has been fun to see, but you would hope you'd see that when you have a younger team and concepts are a little new and just the intensity, if the twins, from Millard West, Norman Neely, I mean, there's, God, the light goes on and, and it'll go off a little, over the course of a practice,
Coach, let me ask you something here. I think you guys open with Missouri Western, and then it's I think it's NDSU, SDSU. You're kind of ramping up. It's Drake, Nebraska in there. As you look at the non-con versus kind of the growth and the inexperience of your team, I know you don't want to get into schedules too ahead of time, but did we lose him?
Yep, I think we lost him.
Ah.
Come on, Shane.
Oh, come on, Shane.
Yeah, you got cut off, but we got him back.
We got him back?
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, sorry about that. That's probably on us, operator error. I was talking about, opening with, Missouri Western and the couple of Dakotas. I think you got NDSU and SDSU. With the influx in youth you've got coming, I know you don't want to get too far ahead in the schedule prognosticating or predictions, but do you like the opportunity to kind of grow into the schedule before Drake, Nebraska, I think you got UNLV. Like, do you like the way the schedule sets up given where you think you are right now in camp?
Yes, I do. And that was intentional. Like we had UCLA on our schedule last year, and we had more road games, and because I knew we'd have a veteran team, and I knew we could handle going on the road a little more. And I was like, okay, we're gonna need a couple of these games to be at home next year. So I don't want to say it's, you want to be careful being respectful to who you're playing, but it isn't the bottom line is it isn't as hard as last year's schedule. We had a really, really difficult non-con schedule in terms of how many veteran teams we were playing and how many of those games were on the road. So this is definitely more manageable. And, to your point, Damon, I mean, we're going to need that because we're going to, when we think we know what we have, but you don't really know what you have until you get a few games in.
Coach, when you're dealing with this much youth and this much change from one year or over the next, what changes more in your mind, the way that you are coaching schematically or the way that you're coaching sort of philosophically in how you're dealing with the players?
I would say it's probably the latter. Like, I just think, just finishing plays is a big deal when and we said that to our, as a staff, it's like, okay, these, to have 5 players finish a play with a defensive rebound, or to have 5 players communicate in transition defense. Every possession is not easy when you're coaching that many young kids, because if one or two kids fails to do it one possession, and the next possession, if I look out there and there's 3 freshmen on the floor, during a practice sequence, it only takes one of them not opening their mouth for somebody on our men's practice team to get a layup. And so we talked about that. We talked about playing through fatigue. So what we did with our team last year is we tried to win in the margins a little differently. We did a lot more situation stuff, a lot more ends of quarters and 3 possessions, and just executing end of shot clock stuff, because we felt like our kids already knew how to play. And whereas now it's like, okay, we're going to go 8 possessions and not blow the whistle and see who's going to give into fatigue, and use it as a training device too, right? It's like, okay, you didn't meet the standard, but we have a month to get you there. And so we are practicing different that way, just because I feel like we have to fill in the gaps in terms of finishing plays. And yes, when a freshman makes a basket or makes 2 baskets, they're going to compete harder on defense. But what about when they just turn the ball over? Do they run back at the level that you need to in college versus in high school? So, we've changed that. I mean, I don't want to say dumbed it down, but you have to, the big things are the big things, and we have to take care of those before we can kind of win in the margins the way we were trying to do the last few years.
Coach Flan, it's always fun to kind of watch your development. I know how you invest, constantly seeing you in local gyms doing your thing. And I get it, right? Coach Berger back, and I think, she's got to be going on double-digit seasons, because I think she last played in 13 maybe. So you've added Coach Jewett. I know a Coach Tico on staff. When
Yep.
you look at how you're kind of diversifying and growing your staff, how has it helped you or going to help you, do you think, when you envision it, continuing to recruit winners? You mentioned the Twins earlier. Dockich has got international experience, used to winning. Like, who you're recruiting is definitely intentional. How have the staff additions help you kind of double down on that?
Yeah, well, you mentioned Alexis. We call her Lex, but she played at Bellevue West, and she'd been doing some development, player development. She's been great. She's so enthusiastic about recruiting. Like we have, okay, we're going to go. Mike's going to go here. Carly's going to go here, and Lex is always like, well, I want to go too, even though I'm already going out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I want to go out on Thursday. I want to go with Carly on Thursday, and I'm like. Like I'm at the point, where it's not that I'm not enthusiastic about recruiting, but there's times where you need to go home.
Yeah, you're parenting too. You got athletes in
For
the house.
me, yeah, it's like I need to go home once in a while, but she's all in on the recruiting piece, and then, which is great. I mean, she has such an enthusiasm about it, and she's got local ties, playing at Bellevue West and playing here, and then Mike Hewitt. God, the guy knows. I knew when I hired him, he was at South Dakota State and South Dakota. I knew he was going to know everybody in Minnesota and South Dakota, but he does really know, oh yeah, her teacher's brother was my, whatever. I mean, it's crazy how many people he knows, kind of in the North area. And if you look at, we've had such a success recruiting Minnesota. He's been really helpful there. He and Alexis went up to.
Yeah, you got
Minnesota.
Lockett, you got McGee, both from Minnesota.
Yeah. So we've been fortunate, and so I'm really happy with, and then the other part, you mentioned is, Damon, when, it's, both Carly and Lex are in their, I don't want to give away their exact age, but they're quite a bit younger than Flan. So when they get on the phone with a 16 or 17-year-old, it's a little different than when I get on the phone with them. And I always say, they can talk longer and still be cool. And my goal is to get off the phone before they realize I'm not cool.
Oh shoot.
So yeah, you're right. I love just, we have fun. We toss things around in the office, and that's the thing about a younger team is you have to pivot a little bit more. So when we're talking about what are the most urgent areas that we need to get better, there's different talking points, because it isn't like the last couple of years where it's like, yeah, we're on a little bit more of an agreement as to where we need to improve. Like, we need to improve in more areas now, so you can have different opinions, and I think that's good, because we go around a little bit, and then we settle into some conclusions, and then maybe we meet, or maybe we're talking about it 3 days later, and we're like, yeah, we probably were wrong. We need to emphasize these couple things a little bit more. We've been focused too much on something else.
Well, Coach, you've got 2 weeks from tomorrow to your opening game. We wish you the best of luck. Can't wait to see how all the fresh faces fit together for you, and wishing you nothing but the best this year.
Yep, always good to catch up with you guys. Damon, good luck to your Dodgers.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Like the best team. I think they look like the best team, but
I hope you're right. I'm just glad San Diego is gone and done. That would be the one team that was left that I would have really struggled with. I don't mind the Brewers if we get past the Phillies or the Cubs. So whatever happens there, man, I'm all in.
You've never seen somebody do more hand wringing over a $500 million roster than Damon Benning.
Says the resident Red Sox fan over here, right? That's rich.
I'm sorry, who's your best player right now? Didn't he used to play for the Red Sox because we couldn't afford him? All right, I'm just checking. All right, Flan, you don't need to get dragged into our couples counseling over here. We appreciate the time, as always. We'll talk to you soon.
Best wishes, Coach.
Okay, thank you, guys.